Hi guys, it's Megan from Vigilante Vibes, and I am here to talk about Marvel characters. Usually I do a comic book breakdown of a character or something of that nature, but today I want to do an MCU breakdown of a character and talk about their full timeline in the MCU. Today will be Doctor Strange. Since his debut in 2016's Doctor Strange, Benedict Cumberbatch's take on the master of mystic arts has been on some seriously wild adventures in the MCU. Based on the classic Marvel Comics character who first showed up in 1963, Benadryl Cabbage Patch's Doctor Strange didn't join the MCU lineup until Phase 3, but he quickly became a major player. Even though he came in later than some of the OG characters, Doctor Strange was a key figure in Avengers Infinity War and Endgame, and now he's one of the biggest names driving the MCU's multiverse saga, setting up an even more exciting future if we ever get to see him again. But I believe a Doctor Strange 3 was confirmed. Besides his two solo movies, Doctor Strange and Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, he's popped up in other big MCU stories too. He played an important role in Thor Ragnarok, Spider-Man No Way Home, and even the multiverse-themed What If series. After the Infinity Saga wrapped up, Doctor Strange took the lead in the multiverse saga, delivering some of the MCU's most memorable moments along the way. There isn't a lot of info about Stephen Strange's early life, but judging by Butternut Crinkle Fries' age, it's safe to guess that he was born sometime in the 70s. We don't know much about his childhood, but in Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, there's a brief moment where he talks about a version of himself from another universe and mentions having a sister named Donna. When they were kids, Donna tragically drowned after falling into a frozen lake, and Stephen's failure to save her is what pushed him to become a doctor. Probably sometime in the 90s, Stephen Strange went to medical school at Columbia University. Yep, the same school a bunch of Marvel heroes went to. Thanks to his photographic memory, he crushed it, earning both his MD and PhD at the same time. He picked up the technical stuff super fast, but spent years practicing and learning new skills to become the best doctor he could, all motivated by the loss of his sister. While working in the ER at Metro General Hospital in NYC, he met fellow surgeon Christine Palmer, and she became like the biggest deal. Since Strange was focused on neurological surgery and researching new nerve cell growth, the two of them actually developed a new laminectomy procedure together. They started dating, but Strange's arrogance and obsession with work eventually pushed them apart, though they stayed close friends. In an alternate universe from What If, their relationship ended when Christine tragically died, which was a huge turning point that Stephen Strange desperately tried to change. Even though we didn't see Stephen Strange before his solo movie, he was already a big deal in the MCU world. If you'll remember, back in 2014's Captain America: The Winter Soldier, it was revealed that Hydra had marked him as a target for Project Insight, which means his work in neurosurgery was important enough to be a threat to them. During the Avengers Endgame time heist, Smart Hulk met the Ancient One during 2012 Battle of New York, who mentioned that Strange was actually performing surgery in the city while the Avengers were fighting Loki, showing just how dedicated he was to his job. In 2016, after successfully saving a patient who'd been shot, Strange was getting ready to speak at an American Neurological Association dinner. On the way there, he was checking out 3 potential new patients, but ended up crashing his car because he got distracted. Even though he survived an 11-hour surgery, his hands were permanently damaged, making it impossible for him to keep working as a surgeon. Desperate for a cure, Strange tried physical therapy, but hit dead ends. Then, paraplegic Jonathan Pangborn, who used magic to walk again, suggested he goes to Kamartaj. So Strange traveled to Kathmandu, found Kamartaj, met Baron Mordo and the Ancient One. The Ancient One opened his eyes to the vastness of the universe and its magic. Strange started training in the mystic arts, which helped him regain some use of his hands and introduced him to the Time Stone and other dimensions. During this time, he also became very close friends with Wong, Kamartaj's librarian, who would eventually become the next Sorcerer Supreme. So you could technically say that the first Doctor Strange movie was actually Wong's coming out party. This was Wong. This is it. And he's showed up in damn near everything since, and I love it. While training at Camartage, Strange ended up at New York's Sanctum Sanctorum and saw Caecilius, an agent of Dormammu from the Dark Dimension, kill the Sanctum's master, Daniel Drum. Strange faced off against Caecilius and his followers a few times, but managed to outsmart them with the help of the Cloak of Levitation and the Ancient One. The Cloak of Levitation is a paid actor. I just want that clear. It did just as much as anyone else there. After the Ancient One died, Strange used the Time Stone to undo the damage Caecilius caused in Hong Kong, then confronted Dormammu himself, trapping him in a time loop until Caecilius was forced off Earth. And I don't think people realize how big of a thing that is, because, like, Dormammu's a huge character in the comics. Like, the most recent thing was that he fought World Emperor Dr. Doom. Like, he's a big character. That was a big character to drop in that movie. After saving the world from the Dark Dimension's dangers, Strange started keeping track of other threats to reality, including Loki. When Thor and Loki came to Earth searching for their dad Odin, Strange intercepted them. But once he found out they'd be heading back to Asgard soon after, he decided to help and pointed them toward Norway. Around this time, Strange also asked Wong to teach him more about the Infinity Stones. According to the Avengers Infinity War: The Hero's Journey book, which is like a prequel to Infinity War, Strange had visions of a tentacled monster named Kalkartho attacking Earth. To stop it, Strange and Wong opened a portal to the Magenta Dimension and used the bonds of Balzar to trap the creature. They even took their astral forms to the moon to distract Kalkartho, but ended up battling it back into the Sanctum in New York. Luckily, Kalkartho got pulled back into the Magenta Dimension, though Strange and Wong almost didn't make it out. In 2018, Bruce Banner showed up at the Sanctum Sanctorum with a warning that Thanos was coming. Doctor Strange gathered Tony Stark and, along with Wong, filled him in on the Infinity Stones. Soon after, two of Thanos' Black Order, Ebony Maw and Cull Obsidian, tried to steal the Time Stone. Strange got tortured on Ebony Maw's ship, but Iron Man and Spider-Man teamed up to blast Maw into space and rescue him. The trio headed to Titan, hoping to take the fight to Thanos. Once they met the Guardians of the Galaxy on Titan, Strange checked out 14 million possible futures, and only one ended with the Avengers winning. When Thanos showed up, the heroes fought hard to stop him from using the Infinity Gauntlet. Strange's battle with Thanos was pretty epic, with him using the mirror dimensions, creating butterfly effects, and multiplying himself to try to outsmart the Mad Titan. But in the end, Strange handed over the Time Stone to save Tony Stark's life, which let Thanos finish his mission and wipe out half the universe, including Strange himself. After the 5-year blip, the surviving Avengers pulled off the time heist to grab the Infinity Stones and bring everyone back. They succeeded, but then 2014 Thanos attacked the Avengers HQ right after. Facing him with only a handful of heroes would have been a no-win situation, but Doctor Strange opened portals all over the universe, so every returned hero could join the fight in the epic Battle of Earth. Strange also revealed that Tony Stark was destined to sacrifice himself, and he was there to mourn Stark at his funeral later on. After being away for like 5 years, Doctor Strange came back to find Wong had stepped up as Sorcerer Supreme. Feeling a bit insecure, Strange made some quick decisions when Peter Parker showed up after his identity got exposed. Parker wanted to make everyone forget who he was, but Strange messed up the spell and accidentally pulled in villains from other universes who already knew Peter's secret. Strange wanted to send them back to their doom, but Spider-Man wouldn't hear of it. Later, Peter convinced Strange to finish the spell properly, saving the multiverse, but making everyone forget Spider-Man's identity in the process. Not long after that, Strange went to Christine Palmer's wedding, but things got wild when a monster named Gargantos attacked America Chavez, a multiverse traveler. Strange and Wong took down Gargantos, and since America had a special ability, they figured Wanda Maximoff could keep her safe. But turns out, Wanda, as a Scarlet Witch, was actually hunting America to steal her powers. It was also pointed out that Gargantos, the monster they were fighting in New York, if you'll remember the movie, it was one big eyeball with legs and arms. That was Wanda's eye. That was Elizabeth Olsen's eyeball. So there you go. So when Strange reached out for Wanda's help, it only brought the Scarlet Witch's fury down on Camartage, where America was hiding. In the battle that followed, America opened a portal through the multiverse, and she and Strange jumped through it together. They zipped through all kinds of crazy realities, one with dinosaurs, other where Hydra won, an underwater world, a place made of paint, even a cartoon universe, before landing on Earth 838. There, they got captured by the Illuminati, a group of superhero leaders from other realities. But the Scarlet Witch showed up, wiped out the Illuminati, and took America back to Earth 616. While the Scarlet Witch took America Chavez back home, she sent Doctor Strange and a variant of Christine Palmer to a reality that was getting wrecked by an incursion. There, Strange ran into the corrupted version of himself who had been twisted by the Darkhold, kind of like what happened to Wanda. After a quick fight, Strange defeated his dark self, but then used the Darkhold to dreamwalk into the body of another variant, so he could help America fight the Scarlet Witch in his own reality. This messed with his body, giving him a third eye like the evil version of himself, and it didn't look good. It wasn't a good look. During Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, Strange accidentally caused an incursion, a dangerous event that could wipe out the entire multiverse if it's not stopped. He was warned about it by Clea. I never know. Is it Clay or Clea? I don't know. A mysterious sorceress who showed up out of nowhere and pulled him through a portal into the dark dimension to deal with the problem. Charlize Theron played Clea in the movie. In the comics, she is Strange's love interest and eventually becomes his wife. Doctor Strange 3 has been confirmed by Bust a Move Cumberdance, but there's been some changes, so no word on it if the third installment is even still in the plan. It has been confirmed, but we've heard nothing about it. What we do know is that Boodle Doodle Cumbernoodle will be in Avengers Doomsday, so maybe a third movie after Secret Wars. We know, so the thing about Avengers Doomsday is we know he's going to be there. There's no way he's not. His name was not put on one of those chairs, and when asked why his name was not on a chair, he said, maybe they ran out of chairs. So it's like, are you just telling us you're in the movie? It was, I don't know. Actors, man. It could be that Doctor Strange 3 may adapt Marvel Comics' intense Time Runs Out storyline, which immediately preceded 2015's Secret Wars event. This could make the next movie one of the most important multi-saga projects, even though it won't be the multiverse saga, but it's going to be multiverse. And allow Doctor Strange to continue to change the landscape of the MCU. So that is all about Doctor Strange in the MCU, and I hope you liked it. So be sure to like and subscribe so you don't miss any more of this character timeline, my other character breakdowns, episodes, trailer reactions, all that really fun stuff I have. And if you're not following, how are you going to keep up? So with that being said, have a marvelous day.